me some drumming, and I hope you do too. So everybody say djembe. All right, good, 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 djembe. So this is a West African djembe drum. So if someone comes up to you and says, hey, they're playing a bongo over there, you can say to them, no, they're not playing a bongo. They're playing a djembe from West Africa. Excellent. Let me play what the djembe sounds like a little bit here. You got a little bit of, got a big bass on there. Then you got some other notes. Djembe. That's right, djembe. Good. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story about how djembe began. So it was the 13th century in a place called the Malian Empire, in a place called West Africa. Now the 13th century was a long time ago. It was before last week. It was before last month. It was before last year. It was before 4 or 5 centuries ago, a long time ago. And in this place, it was the women who invented the music that djembe would inherit. So djembe, when djembe was invented, there was already music there. And the women created the music with this ancient instrument. Can you play this ancient instrument with me? Can you do this? Oh, I think you got it. Come on now, I think you got it. Come on now, clap with me now, if you can now. Oh, clap with me now, if you can now. Come on and clap with me now, if you can now. Come on and clap with me now, if you can now. Put a little dance in the movement, clapping now. And come on and clap with me now, come on, clap now. Come on, clap with me now, come on, clap now. And now, while you're clapping, the women also, they created the rhythms with their hands clapping, but they created the songs with another ancient instrument. And you've got one of those too. It's right here. That's right. It's your mouth. And you sing with your mouth. So if you clap with me, come on and clap with me if you can clap with me. Clap with me if you can clap with me. Clap with me if you can clap. If you don't want to clap and you want to tap, go tap with me and the tap with me. My foot is tap with me. Come on, clap with me and a tap with me. Come on, tap with me. Good. Now, can you sing with me? Say, hey-yo. You repeat, hey-yo. And now you repeat, hey-yo. 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 Hey. Hey, let's say thank you. 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 All right, let's 1, 2, let's stop together now. Very good. Looks like we got the band going. Time to go on tour. All right. So the women invented the rhythms here and the songs here. And then the blacksmith, he came about and he somehow thought to carve out a shell of wood. See, this is hollow. So it's hollow, see? And one of the blacksmiths, and I don't know if you remember, you know what blacksmiths are, but if you don't know what a blacksmith is, think of, if you might have seen it in a movie or something, where let's say I'm a blacksmith, all right? I'm a blacksmith. I've got my forge over here. A forge is like an oven, only much, much hotter, all right? And some of the things that blacksmiths make, let's see. Blacksmiths make, sometimes they make swords, sometimes they make horseshoes, sometimes they make tools for the farmer, sometimes they make knives for the cooks, that kind of thing. So let's say I'm making a horseshoe. Again, I'm a blacksmith. So the horseshoe's in the forge, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. It's getting so hot, it's getting red hot, but it gets even hotter. It gets white hot, woo-wee. So I'm gonna grab with my tongs, I'm gonna grab that horseshoe, I'm gonna take it out and put it on my anvil, and I'm gonna take my hammer, I'm gonna pound it, pound it, pound it, pound it into shape, and you're gonna see sparks flying and, you know, glowing, it's glowing red and la 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 la. So that's what a blacksmith is. So the blacksmith is the ones that had the hard, heavy, that they had the tools to carve the hard, heavy African woods. And they were the ones that first created the djembe. And they were the ones that first played the djembe. And I think about that first moment, that the first blacksmith played the first djembe on the planet Earth. And he went like this. And I bet you he said, wow. Because look at that sound, that's a big sound. Oh my gosh. And I imagine that as he did this, the village had the same reaction. They heard this and said, what? What is that sound? Where's that sound coming from? All across the village, I imagine they were looking up in the air. They were looking down in the earth. They were looking in the bushes. They didn't know where the sound was coming from or what was making this sound. Was this sound, oh, I don't know, alive? It was something more than a sound. But then, shortly after the blacksmith's hands began making the boom on the djembe, it's almost as if his hands kind of started dancing on top of the drum. And then suddenly different notes came out, not just the boom. Djembe was born. And I'm told by my masters that when the women saw this, they said, wow, what is that thing you have there? What is the name of that thing that you have created? You know, and when you create a thing from, you know, it's the first time it's ever been created, maybe it doesn't even have a name. Well, I think that the blacksmith asked the drum what the name was. And the drum said, which he took as djembe, djembe. So that's how the djembe got its name and how the djembe got its rhythms. So you've heard that djembe is from Africa. Yes. It is from West Africa. Yes. It is from the Malian Empire. Also, yes. It is from the 13th century. Yes. The women created the music. Yes. The blacksmith created the djembe itself. Yes. A lot of good knowledge in there. So I would like to tell you a story about a young man who really liked to play djembe. He liked to play djembe so much that he would play all day long. But no matter how long he played, no matter how many hours in the sun he played, he could not find the sound of the master's hand in his. So the boy thought to himself, well, I don't know what it could be. Why can't I find the sound of the master's hand in mine? Well, it can't be me, so it must be this drum. Must be this drum. What is it about this drum that is preventing me from finding the sound of my hand, the master's hand in mine? I know. This drum must be too brown. It's a reddish brown, and maybe it's too reddish brown. Darn it, that's what the problem is. So the boy set about to find a less reddish brown djembe. And he found one. And he played and played and played. But alas, he did not find the sound of the master's hand in his. So the boy thought to himself, well, that didn't work, but I know it still must be the drum. It could not be me, so it must be the drum. What is it about this drum that is preventing me from finding the sound of the master's hand in mine? Oh, I know. This drum is too wide. It is too wide. That's why I cannot find the sound of the master's hand in mine. So the boy set about to find a narrow drum. And he found a narrow drum. So narrow, he could fit his entire hand over the entire top of the drum. And he played and played and played. But alas, he did not find the sound of the master's hand in his. The boy thought to himself, well, that narrow djembe didn't work, so, well, obviously, it must have been too narrow to begin with. So I must need a wide djembe. And if I find a wide djembe, I will be able to find the sound of the master's hand in mine. So the boy set about to find a wide djembe. And he found a wide djembe. And that djembe was so wide that he could lay down on top of that djembe and sun himself in the Savannah sun. But instead, he played and played and played. But alas, he did not find the sound of the master's hand in his. Became more and more frustrated. He couldn't figure out why he could not find the sound of the master's hand in his. No matter what he tried, a wide drum, a narrow drum, a not quite so brown red drum. What could it be? But just then, the young boy had a very, very naughty thought. I will steal my master's drum, and then I will find the sound of the master's hand in mine. So the boy set about. In the dark of the night, he snuck into his master's Tebow. The Tebow is what they call those brick and those red brick huts with the thatch roof you see a lot of times when you see pictures of Africa. Well, in Guinea, they call those Tebows. So he snuck into his master's Tebow. And he lifted his master's drum as quiet as a mouse. He lifted his master's drum and he took it out of his master's Tebow. he went across the bara. The bara is the village center. And he went past the big baobab tree, and he hid behind the giant boulder. And he played and played and played. But alas, he still did not find the sound of the master's hand in his. But just then, what also happened was the master was awoken from his sleep by the sound of his own drum playing in an accent that he had never heard before.
How can this be?
Well, the master got up. He left his Tibo. He went across the bara. He went past the baobab tree, following the sound to find the young man crouched next to the boulder, playing his drum.
Why have you not asked me to play my drum?
Oh, I'm sorry, master. I just wanna have the sound of your hand in mine, and I just play and play and play, and the drum was not too red and too brown, and it wasn't too wide and too narrow. I'm sorry, master. So the master went back to his Tibo, and he found a stinky old, misshapen, dusty old, flea-bitten, moth-eaten djembe. And he brought it to the boy.
You must play this djembe, and this djembe alone, until you find the sound of your hand in mine. Let me rephrase that. Until you find the sound of my hand in yours.
So the boy took the drum, and he left the village. And many moons passed, many full moons passed, many rites of passage, many naming ceremonies, many transitions, many harvests, and many sowings of seeds. Until one morning, it was so early in the morning that not even the sun had woken up yet. The master heard the sound of his own hand.
How can this be?
So the master, very surprised to hear such a thing as his own hand, the sound of his own hand coming across the village. Well, he got up, and he left his Tibo, and he went across the bara, and he went past the baobab tree, and he looked behind the boulder. He didn't see anything. But then he looked up on the hill, and he saw a young man. And that young man was playing a dusty old, misshapen, flea-bitten, nasty old djembe. Well, that must be the young boy. Well, the master approached.
How is it that you have found the sound of my hand in yours?
Well, master, first of all, thank you for this very, very valuable lesson. I understand now that it was never the drum. There was never the drum that needed to be too wide or too narrow or less red, brown, or whatever. It was never the drum. To get the sound of your hand in mine, I needed to practice and practice and have patience and practice and have patience and have faith that practice and patience would get me to the sound that I wanted to get out of the djembe. The sound that you've demonstrated to me that can come out of the djembe. And I understand now, Master, that real wisdom comes with time and practice and discipline. Ooh, I forgot to mention discipline. Because even when I didn't want to practice anymore, I practiced some more. And eventually, the djembe revealed the sound of the Master's hand to me. I didn't find it. The djembe revealed it to me when I was ready. You know, it's like I've heard that the masters come when the student is ready. And I think that's what happened to me. So thank you, Master. Pleased, the Master went back to his T-bow and he got his drum. And he joined the boy on that hill. And together they drummed as the morning sun chased away the night. Well, all right. I hope you enjoyed that little tale. And I'm going to play for a little while longer. And I want to involve some more instruments. Some of the instruments I want to involve, you can see back here. And they're played with sticks. And they're called dunun. If I was going to spell dunun, I would spell it D-U-N. U-N. And I would pronounce that dunun, not dunun, like how it might look. Think of noon, the word noon, 12 p.m., noon, like when lunchtime. And think dunun, dunun. So dunun is played with a stick, and it's got a bell on top, played with a bell beater. So check this out. So that's how dununs are played. Well, you might notice I've got one dunun over here. I've got another dunun over here, and I'm hiding a dun-dun. Where is it? Where are you, little dun-dun? There's a little dunun down here. So there's three dununs, a low pitch, a medium pitch, and a high pitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play them all for you on a fancy little app I have on my iPad here. So you can hear how all the dun-duns sound for a traditional rhythm called Balakulan-Jan. And Balakulan-Jan is a rhythm played for children in Upper Guinea, West Africa by the Malinke ethnic group. So listen to this. Where are you, play button? There we go. Now maybe you can repeat after me. Repeat after me. Balakulan-Jan, and. Now me. Balakulan-Jan, you. Starts with a B. Balakulan-Jan. Now me. Balakulan-Jan, now you. Now me. Balakulan-Jan, you. Now me. Balakulan-Jan. Now if you want to keep singing, just repeat. Balakulan-Jan, Balakulan-Jan. Hey, can you make up a dance step? I just did this kind of, I don't know, there's no plan here, but Balakulan-Jan. Hey, Balakulan-Jan. Maybe clap. Balakulan-Jan. Let me hear you say Balakulan-Jan. Come on now. Balakulan-Jan. Let me hear you say Balakulan-Jan. Keep going. I'm gonna play this djembe here while you sing along with me. Balakulanjan. Woo, Balakulanjan. Come on now, Balakulanjan. Take your hand. I almost said shake your hands. Like this? No, I meant clap your hands. Uh-huh. Balakulanjan. Come on now. Balakulanjan. Come on now. Balakulanjan. Come on, no, no, ma, na, no, no, ma. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today and adding your groove to the situation. I'm Taylor. Namaste.